So how did at 20, what got you interested in being able to actually create something? Because maybe a lot of us at 20 saw problems that would be interested to try to solve, to find a solution. But what gave you the confidence you could actually create something? Are you kind of a mad scientist? You do a lot of stuff out of your own house. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, from a young age, I was always my dad kept we had like a cabinet in the hallway, and he would keep just random electronics in there, wires, batteries, just random stuff in there. And he wouldn't be like, no, you can't touch that. He'd be like, yeah, go at it, make whatever you want. He'd show me how to make electromagnets and stuff like that. So from like a young age, I was always around technology and just electronics and all that stuff. So I was very comfortable working with just basic hardware. I understand how it works. I understand where it doesn't work. And I've also really always liked phones. I see phones as like it's basically the epitome of human engineering. It's like it's more advanced than the space station, honestly, because you see the space station, it's just like they're just trying to keep the vacuum of space from exploding that thing. That's all you're trying to do with there. Just pressurization, which you've been doing with scuba diving tanks since the 70s. But cell phones, I mean, it's replaced like 80% of the tools that everybody would ever carry. Cameras, typewriters, other computers, mobile phones, just phones on their own, pagers, so many technologies it's just collected.
Right.
So between my love of technology, like cell phones, and my knowledge of hardware, I figured, you know what, there's a problem that I face often, which is overheating phones, and I should fix that.
What was one of the first things that you created, as a kid prior to this? Does anything come to mind that you were like, oh, I'm going to try this?
You know what? It's funny you ask, because I was going through my camera roll one of these days, and I actually found a very early prototype of a wireless charger or of like a phone cooling device that I made when I was I must have been like 14 or 15. And what I had done is I had taken the Apple iPhone 5 box, and I took a fan and I cut the blades of the fan so it would fit in there. And then I took the rim of the fan and put that inside. And then I took the batteries, hooked that in underneath, and I used rubber bands to strap the iPhone 5 on there. And it would cool your phone. It would cool the iPhone 5.
Wow.
And that was, I remember looking back on that, I was like, wow, I didn't do a very good job on that,
Well,
the rubber bands. So.
Well, yeah, you definitely have a focus here then. It's around cooling. Where do you think that came from? Did you have like problems with your phone getting overheated, and you were just like, there needs to be a solution here?
It's always been a long-standing issue. It doesn't matter what phone you have. I use iPhones, I use Androids, I even have Windows phones. It's like
you're the one guy with the Windows phone. So.
I have. It's in a drawer. I don't ever use it because there's nothing you can do with it. But just between all those, it doesn't matter how nice your phone is either. They are all susceptible to overheating, both from internal factors and external factors. And your phone just stops working when it overheats, and this happens very often. Like even in cold places, what's
driving that? Because I've noticed sometimes my phone is fine, and sometimes it's overheating. So what are some of the internal, external factors that drive
so
that?
there's actually 4 total factors. 2 of them are internal, 2 of them are external. So the 2 internal are your battery and your CPU. And the 2 external are direct heat, like direct sunlight, and then ambient heat. So usually your phone can handle one of those at a time. So let's say your phone's in the direct sunlight, but the ambient temperature is kind of low, and it's not doing anything with the battery or the CPU. Then it might be able to handle that pretty well, although direct sunlight's pretty harsh. Or let's just say maybe you're playing an intense game, but your battery's like chilling, and it's not in direct sunlight, and it can handle that. When you start combining factors, that's where things get out of control. Your phone cannot handle when you combine factors. So let's say it's direct sunlight and the ambient high temperature is high, that's where you have issues. That's where my product comes in.
So you usually see if it's 2 or more, then it's an issue, and if you have 3 or 4, it's a real big issue.
There's no way you can't have more than 3 without it. Even if they're at low levels, you can't even have more than 3.
And is there some temperature where the phone automatically just shuts down when it gets so hot?
It depends per phone, and it depends on the conditions. So if the phone is running like tasks, like you're taking pictures or something, which is very it's very harsh on the CPU. It uses a lot of power. Your phone will heat up a lot. Let's say you're taking pictures or whatever, and it's in direct sunlight and the ambient high temperature is hot. So you got CPU, battery to some degree, the direct and the ambient. You have all those going on. That's going to overheat your phone very quickly. And so the internal temperature of the phone is being measured at different parts of the phone. So the battery's got a sensor, the CPU's got a sensor. I mean, depending on what phone you have, they may have sensors in other places, so the phone can keep, homeostasis going. It can figure out what's going on inside. I find that Android phones tend to kind of ignore the heating issue until it's like really bad, like dangerous, like physically dangerous to the phone, which is good for users in the short term because they get to get more use out of their phone.
Right.
But in the long run, it really hurts their battery and may cause other issues, maybe with like the storage or stuff like that with degradation.